Hey, hello. And how is everyone doing today? I hope you're doing okay. Hey, okay, so this is dedicated specially to you. And so how's everyone doing? Happy New Year once again. It's good to be back here. I had to take a couple of days, a few days off. Yesterday was the 3-year anniversary of my mom's passing, and yeah, mom passed so suddenly, no one saw it coming. And so it's always New Year's. When I think of New Year's and 3 years ago, we had just wished her a happy new year, and the very next day she was gone. That's always very hard. So, yeah, but you know, you would think that after 3 years that it gets better. It doesn't get better. It doesn't get better. But guys, we move. We keep moving. We keep moving. We don't stop. Keep moving. Okay, so this stream, I know some of you are like, no more G Man. We don't want G Man anymore. But this is a special stream. This one is dedicated specially to Steve McRae manager. He's always first. And listen, I know you're unwell at the moment, but hopefully this might put a smile on your face. And do check your messages. Check your messages. Okay, so how's everyone doing? So listen, you can join in and trust me, you will enjoy this. Just trust me on that one. You will enjoy this. So, right, let's get started. This was very impromptu, but I decided to do it so that to put a smile on your face. Okay, now let's go. Let's do something here. So, you remember the time that G Man defended slavery? Because I was thinking, what can I do? What can I do? What can I this I think this was my very first introduction to the man called Gman. This his video was my very first introduction to Gman. So I used to binge on the atheist experience videos, and I came across this video, old but somebody defending slavery, a Christian defending slavery. Of course I had to hop in. What's this person got to talk about? What they say? When I heard the voice of the person, I said, this is a black man. Hey, how is a black man out here defending slavery for goodness sake? Then I saw his name. I said, okay, let's go and have a look. What on earth this person is all about? And so I saw a couple of things. Well, didn't care too much about him. Then I think I then saw Dragnet on the atheist experience. And you don't see many black people on the atheist experience. So I was like, okay, any black person then, any black person I see on the atheist experience, I need to know their names and I'm following them. Anybody. Once you're on the atheist experience and you've got a channel, that's it. I'm following you. So saw his name, Dragnet. Oh, okay, Dragnet. Went on YouTube, Dragnet. I saw videos of Dragnet covering Gma. I said, whatever this is, I need to get in here. Oh my, that's how I fell down the rabbit hole, guys. That's where it started. Hey, look out for no. Oh goodness. So you're saying he too has defended slavery, calling it indentured servitude. He's also black. Why is it why is it that these people They call it indentured servitude. How is this any better? How is indentured servitude any better, guys? How? Honestly, makes me cringe. Mm-mm. Okay, right, guys, here we go.
All right, we've got Gman in Jersey City. How are you?
I'm good. I spoke to Matt Dillahunty on my YouTube channel not too long ago.
Yeah.
He was, yeah, how you doing, Matt?
I'm all right. You had promised a call today, and when all the lines were full and there was a theist on there, I thought maybe it was you, but it wasn't. So what have you got for us?
Well, I would like to present my evidence for the existence of
God. I will be happy to let you do that. But I have one quick question ahead of time. Have you changed your position on the Bible and slavery?
I'm aware that many people believe that God supports slavery in the Bible, and He even tells the people how to deal with slaves. But I think there's a misconception about slavery in the Bible versus the slavery that you see going on.
Okay, so for those of you who are new to Gman, new to all of this was not the first time Matt Dillahunty, the man on the right, and Gman have had conversation. Gman had defended slavery before. Gman used to call into this call-in show with his useless arguments. He would call in, and this was one of those times when he called in. Do you know, they banned him from calling this show. They banned G-Man from calling this show. So you know what G-Man decided to do? G-Man decided he would go back and call the show. But this time around, he would use his real name, right? G-Man called into the show and said, okay, because they'll ask the person, okay, who are you and where are you calling from? And he said, he's Gary Moore, Gary Lamont. No, he said he was Lamont. Yes, I remember. He was Lamont. He completely missed out the G, because you know his name's Gary, right? And I'm not doxing him. He has doxed himself time and time again. He called in the show himself and gave out his real name. So he had called in the show and he had used his middle name, Lamont Moore. And guys, this as soon as he started to speak, you know, his voice is so unique. They sussed him out immediately. Oh my god, this guy. Okay. So this was not the first. And Matt had said, look, you need to go back and go and have a look at what your book does say about slavery. Yeah. And then come back to me. So he's asking him, did you check it out? Did you? And he's confirming that indeed he has had a look and that his Bible does indeed uh, um, give the guidelines for how slaves are to be treated, right? He confirms it. But apparently, according to Gman, it's a misconception. You are not reading it correctly. You're not getting the context. No, so that is Gman's position here. I don't know what context you have to read slavery in. I don't know what kind of context you need. I don't know what kind of um, mental gymnastics you have to go through to understand slavery. I don't know. But you know, this is G-Man, so let's see.
The transatlantic
trade. Okay, stop.
Hey,
Because
how
not only did I give you this
hello.
information, I specifically addressed it. If the Bible says you can own people as property, is it moral or immoral to own people as property?
God says no, it's not.
Okay, stop. Hang on just a second. It sounded to me like you said that whether or not it's moral depends on what God says. So if God says...
Okay, guys, did you hear that? I will take it back. I will take it back so you can hear it. Unfortunately, G-Man's not the only one who thinks this. There are many, many Christians who defend slavery. There are many. They would defend, as long as it's in the Bible, it's good. All is good with the world as long as it's in the Bible. Everything in that book, as far as they're concerned, is from God. Never mind, God does not write, God does not speak, God does not intervene in the affairs of men. In fact, the God that they speak of, no proof that he even exists. But they believe the contents of the book over them being moral. They would rather go with what's in the book than to think about their fellow humans. Okay, let me take that back so you can see. How do you go like back
okay, then slavery's
back one step? I can't find the back button. What happened to that? I don't know what happened. This is the forward button, but I don't know what happened to it. Never mind. I'll just take it back this way. Okay, guys, listen to this. Listen to Gman, and this is the reason why this statement he made here was the hook for me. This was the hook. I just said, no, a black man didn't just say that. It just
or immoral to own people as property.
Okay, no. Okay, here we go.
Because not only did I give you this information, I specifically addressed it. If the Bible says you can own people as property, is it moral or immoral to own people as property?
Well, if God says no, it is not.
Okay, stop. Hang on just a second. It sounded to me like
If the Bible says it is immoral to own people as property, what's the question? And G-Man says, if God says it is not, then it is not. So anything his God says, G-Man doesn't care. Hey, Dr. Cyrus. Matthew Price, hello. Matthew Price says you can push the left arrow to make it back a few. Left arrow. Oh, left arrow, left arrow. Let's have a look. Left arrow.
you said that.
Oh no, I can hang on. Let's see. Left arrow. Where's my left arrow? It disappeared. Ah, okay, yeah. Looks like he's taking it back. Okay. All right, let's see.
Hang on just a second. It sounded to me like
Yes, Matthew Price, thank you.
to own people as property.
Let's listen to that again.
That you see going on in the transatlantic
Okay,
trade.
stop. Because not only did I give you this information, I specifically addressed it. If the Bible says you can own people as property, is it moral or immoral to own people as property?
Well, if God says no, it is not.
Okay, stop. Hang on just a second. It sounded to me like you said that whether or not it's moral depends on what God says. So if God says slavery's okay, then slavery's okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let you give your...
Let me say this, though. But let me say this. Just let me say this. There is no commandment in the Bible where God says, thou shalt have slaves.
If God says slavery is okay, then slavery is okay. Owning another human being as property, so long as this imaginary entity who has never been seen, never been heard from, nobody knows where he resides, nobody has any knowledge. So long as we think he's okay with it, G-Man is dangerous. I am very sorry. And that's why, okay, I get it. Some of you say, oh, don't platform him. Oh, don't. But my goodness. How is someone like this allowed to spew this kind of belief? How? Okay. Guys, you all do me a favor. Can you all send some hearts in the chat for Steve McRae, manager? He's he's down with the COVID. Steve McGray, I hope you don't mind me telling folks. Yeah, but this is actually dedicated to him because yeah, he's particularly you all know he's always first here. And even today, even though this stream was impromptu, he was still first. Even as he's down with the COVID. Oh, I hope you'll be all right and hope we can put a smile on your face. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm trying to do something here. Hey, the Trusted Ape podcast. Hello, Henry M. Hello, yeah, Steve McRae. Yeah, even with the vaccines, unfortunately, you still catch it. Steve McRae, is this the first time? This is the first time you're catching it, yeah? This is the first time. Says, I have COVID. I knew I should not have leaked the like button on the Gman stream. Okay, all right. I hope this will make you at least a smile on your face, yeah? Because this is for you. Hey, Big Zebra. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you all had a lovely festivities, the festive period. Hope all that was good for you. I know right now a lot of you have to hit the gym. I, for one, need to hit the gym because my goodness. Yeah, I need to hit that gym. Okay, all that food and chocolate and oh gosh, so much food. I dread that Christmas period. All right, let's listen to this.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my! I'm going to go ahead and let you make your argument for the existence of God.
He's
But
fed
you
up
might,
already.
after we had this conversation, and after you
Can
look
you
it up,
imagine?
you are so desperate to make excuses that you will sacrifice your humanity and your morality and say, nope, slavery might have been all right if God said so. That is absolutely disgusting.
It
But
is.
I'm going to let you go ahead and.
Let's consider something for a moment, though. Let's consider a moment on the slavery issue and whatnot. Okay. You saw the video I made concerning slavery amongst the Hebrews and whatnot.
Yes,
right?
I saw you say that the people who disagree with you are wrong and don't know the Bible. And then when I offered you the verses and made the arguments, now your position has changed to, well, if God says it's okay, then it's okay. You're not even willing to admit you're not even willing to admit that you were wrong about what the book says before.
But there's a difference.
No, it's not. My point is my point is that you will not admit that you were wrong about what you said when you were wrong and demonstrated to be wrong. Instead, you change your argument to be that if God says it's okay, then it's okay.
No, actually, if you remember the comment that you left, it was me saying that I should have gave a more exhaustive example about what slavery was.
Yes, and I find that to be G-Man. I find that to be completely dishonest too, because saying you should have given a more exhaustive treatment does not do anything to change the fact that you were wrong, demonstrably wrong.
And you will let me get a word, and I can explain why.
I tell you what.
Okay,
I tell you what. Whether or
not
you get a word depends on the next things that you say.
Concerning the whole thing with slavery again, the video that I made, I primarily focused on the slaves that the Hebrews had amongst their own people and whatnot, which was done because a lot of them couldn't support themselves for economic reasons.
And you don't think it's G-Man, hello. Yeah. You don't think it's dishonest to only focus on Hebrew slaves and claim what you said was the Bible says you have to let slaves go after 7 years. And what I showed you was that you were only talking about Hebrews who owned other Hebrew slaves because that rule only applied to fellow Jews. You portrayed it as the Bible's position on slavery when in fact it was the Bible's position on Jews. It was a special set of circumstances for them, and it includes a loophole by which you can enslave them forever. And you don't find that it was dishonest to say that?
Wait a minute. Hold a minute.
I bet you a paycheck.
That's how you interpreted it.
No.
It's how you interpret it.
No, actually, you can't present a damn thing just yet because I already provided you the passage. I'm not even going to look it up. It's Exodus 21. And after it says that you must let them go after serving 7 years, it says if they came in with a wife, that wife leaves to them. But if you gave them a wife and they come to you and say,
Hey,
I don't want to leave
Henry,
my
and
wife. You then take them
thank
before
you
the elders
very
of the town
much
and they
for
say, I love
the
my master and I want to stay with my master. You drive
super,
a
super,
spike through the air
super.
to
I
mark that
don't
they
see
are yours and
it
they
on
become your
here.
property forever. The Bible
Okay,
describes exactly how you can enslave your fellow Jews
right.
forever. And that is get them single and marry them off because their wives and their kids remain your property.
Okay. Now, one thing you all must understand with G-Man, he never accepts defeat. Never. In any conversation that he has had, he always wins. G-Man always wins. Know that. Even when G-Man has been trashed and swept on the floor in the mud, he always wins. He went away from this conversation here, went on his channel and said, I trashed Mark Dillahunty. I presented an argument that he himself was confused about. That's him for you. I've not met anyone that is as deluded as this guy. Henry, and thank you and happy new year to you too. Hope that this year is a better year for all of us. I actually see good things ahead of us. It's going to be better than the year before. So together we will do this. Together we will, ride the wave of 2023. Okay. Pastors are never wrong. Harmonica man, hello. And how are your gigs? How are your gigs? Oh, Dr. Cyrus, you're 8 minutes long. Oh, you had a phone call. Oh, goodness. Right. How can you have free will as a slave? It's impossible. Hey, Danny, I didn't see you there. Let's see. Hello. In the Bible, Jesus says, how can you love God who you have never seen, but hate your brother who you have always known? And why do you hate me? Listen, Jesus said a lot of bullshit, right? Jesus, he just said a lot of. I think one of these days we will get into Jesus's bullshit. How about that? We will get into Jesus and his bullshit. Yes, all his bullshit claims, right? And I was thinking of the title of the stream. I'd already thought it in my head, and that was going to be my next stream tomorrow, which it will still be. I wasn't planning to come on live today, but because Steve McQuaid manager has the COVID. So guys, please send some love in the chat for Steve McQuaid manager. You all know he's always first here, and we love him around here. So Steve McQuaid, this is especially for you because you you're the one who fills me in. You're my G-Man uh info guide. That's right. My G-Man info guide. You have everything. You got it all. You Any video I'm looking for, you got it. Anything, just name it. He's got it. Oh my goodness. Steve McCray manager, how many years have you been following this clown? Please tell us. How many years have you been guys, if there's any G-Man content on the surface of this internet, just ask Steve McQueen manager. He knows where to get it. He knows everything else. Right. Hence the dishonesty. Absolutely. So here we are defending a position that is not defendable. I don't care what your book says. And that's why your book needs to be trashed. Here we have a book that's telling people that um okay, you can treat the Hebrew slaves different. The Hebrew slaves get to leave after 6 years. But you see the ones that you take from other countries near you, those ones never go free. They never go free, right? If you give them a wife and they bear children, women and children never go free. women, and children never go free. It's all in the Bible. How do you defend that? How do you defend something like that? Hey, Phil. Phil's here too. Hey, Phil. Happy New Year. Say, G-Man always wins. And I don't know. I don't know a lot about Von Health. He says, I am special and I can prove it. I went to a school for it. A special school. Oh, Dr. Cyrus. You know I love you, Dr. Cyrus. Henry M says, look at phenomenon exactly. There is nothing in the New Testament that was said by Jesus. Everything is just hearsay because nobody was present. The Gospels are third hand. Now, Henry M, let me support what you just said, right? So Jesus was here with us, here on earth. Jesus was here. He knew, because Jesus was supposed to be God. So he knew that a day would come when there will be confusion over what he said or didn't say, right? He knew that a time will come where there'll be infighting in his religion. First of all, can somebody, please, I need you all, do me a favor and show me in the Bible a place where Jesus told his disciples, when I'm gone, start my religion called Christianity. I'll wait. No, I'll wait. Somebody show me a scripture where Jesus looked at everyone and said, I'm going shortly. When I'm gone, start my religion. Because you know, there was nothing like Christianity before Jesus. Where did Jesus tell them, okay, start this religion? Jesus didn't care too much about what happened after he died. That was not his business. He even went as far as to tell them that he was coming back like very soon, that some of them will not die before he comes back. That's what Jesus said. So Jesus had no plans for this thing they call Christianity. Jesus has no business with this thing they call Christianity. No, it's not a Jesus thing. If Christianity was a Jesus thing, Jesus would have told them what books to put. He would have told them, guys, as I'm speaking, write down. He would have given us the words of his daddy, fresh from his mouth. He would have, in fact, he would have written it himself. Right? He had hands, didn't he? He could have written the book himself, or books, whatever. So these people waited until Jesus had died. They claimed he rose again. All right, fine. Then he disappeared again, now going to sit with his daddy up there. So they're waiting. I bet the disciples will go every morning. They'll be looking up in the sky. Oh, thou Jesus, when comest thou? Where's my phone? When comest thou back to? Where's my phone? I hear something buzzing. Yeah, I found it. When comest thou? Oh, my Savior, Lord Jesus, thou sayest. Thou sayest that thou shalt returnest in the near future, and thou can't no, anyway, let me try and speak what do you call that script, what do you call that Bible now, shit, King James, yeah, the King James lingo. Thou begat the, like, stupid language. I could never understand that King James Version Bible. Is horrendous. Danish Michael says, I am buzzing, Esther. You're buzzing. Ooh, what's making you buzz? Tell me about it. Steve McRae's manager says, I am the Steve McRae. Can we reserve that for G-Man? Okay. That's a G-Man thing. UTIs. When you think G-Man, think UTI. UTI, G-Man. G-Man, UTI. Okay, Steve McRae manager, I'm sure you No, no, no. It's not your thing. No, no. Mm-mm. Okay, so Danny says, it is a good thing to treat some of your children awfully. That is, we are we are God's children. Would you burn him? Was Jesus illiterate? Now, that's a question we should ask the Christians. What was Jesus's uh what was his intelligence score? What's that like? Because for someone that comes up with some stupid claims like this, I don't think the guy was quite clever. Anyway, this is not a Jesus stream. We would do Jesus tomorrow. How Jesus ruined the world. How about that, guys? Ready? Anyone interested in that? How Jesus ruined the world. Clown. I'm buzzing. He can rise from the dead. Can rise from the dead, but he can't write. Meanwhile, Harmonica Man, he creates the universe. He created the universe. Intelligent designer, my foot. It says he created the trees. He created the mountains and the seas. And he, after 6 days, then he couldn't even write a book. Clown. Hey, girl, walk. Hello. Why was Jesus illiterate? That's one. No, no, no. And it's that should be a whole stream. Was Jesus literate or illiterate? How about that? Let me tell you, as far as I'm concerned, Jesus was illiterate. Jesus was the epitome of illiteracy. He was the epitome of illiteracy. That's Jesus clown. Okay, let's continue this video. Says I need to. Oh yeah, you got a very special private. Oh, some people. Mm-mm. How about send some of these private messages our way now? What's happening here? Some people are busy getting because they're sick. They're getting private messages. Okay, all right. All right, so let's see. Okay.
If they didn't come into the slave situation with them, that, my friend, is an absolute loophole, which I already told you about.
You are going to disagree on
then you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong, and you're done. It is blatantly written there, word for word. Move on to your argument for the existence of God.
Okay, so we agree to disagree on the slavery.
No, you're done. Bye. This is not agreeing to disagree. I'm going to pull up the passage right here, and I'm going to read it to you. Exodus. Come here, computer. Exodus 21. Because I want to make sure that I don't misrepresent it. Because what you did, for those people who are interested, Gman has a channel where he tries to make excuses for the Bible and slavery by saying, well, slavery wasn't like that. It was just indentured servitude. No, it wasn't. Slavery isn't like that. The Bible says you got to let him go after 7 years. No, it wasn't. You were absolutely dishonest in everything that you said about there. I provided you the verses and gave you ample opportunity to be prepared for this before you walked onto the show today, where I said I would embarrass you if you did not acknowledge that you were being dishonest. If you buy a Hebrew servant, Exodus 21:2. If you buy a Hebrew servant, he's yours for 6 years, but in the 7th year, he shall go free without paying anything. If he comes alone, he is to go free alone. But if he has a wife, when he...
Can you imagine that people did... Look, guys, let me tell you how bad slavery is for me. In this book, I don't care whether it was indentured servitude. I don't care if that person willingly gave themselves up to be used for hard labor or whatever labor for 6 years. Guys, can you imagine that somebody owes you money and they come to you, I can't give you this money. Use me for 6 solid years of my life. 6 years. 6. In place of the money. Just, guys, think about it. So when next Christians are saying, oh, you was indentured servitude. That is, somebody comes to me, they owe me money and say, oh, use me however you want for 6 solid years. Guys, how many? Please, somebody calculate how many is 6 times. Look at that. How many? 365 days a year. How many of those in 6 years that you can own? And this is specifically for the Hebrew slaves, okay? Anyone who wasn't a Hebrew, you see how cruel and evil this is. God wants you to treat your fellow Hebrews special. But you see, everybody else, they don't get that special treatment. It's crazy.
He comes, she is to go with him. If his master gives him a wife and she bears him sons or daughters,
Is
the
that
woman
Jeff
and her
D?
children shall belong.
So the guy on the left is Jeff D. He made a wonderful, let's see your comment. The guy on the left is Jeff D. He made a wonderful superhero RPG, Villains and Vigilantes, and later The Mighty Protectors. I don't think I've ever watched that, have I? I don't think so. Most likely it was illiterate. People that could write did write. You would think a child of God would know Steve McRae manager. He was God himself. He was the child, he was God, he was the spirit, he was everything in one. That was God. And God could not write. God could not write the book.
Belong to her master, and only the man shall go free. But if the servant declares, I love my master and my wife and my children, and do not want to go free, then his master must take him before the judges. He shall take him to the door of the doorpost and pierce his ear with an awl. Then he will be the servant for life. You, sir, are.
Guys, listen to that. Just listen. Hey, gosh.
And only the man shall go free. But if the servant declares, I love my master and my wife and my children, and do not want to go free, then his master must take him before the judges. He shall take him to the door of the doorpost and pierce his ear with an awl. Then he will be the servant for life. You, sir, are.
So women and children don't go free. If you give your slave, and this is the Hebrew slave, guys, this is the 6 year slave. Oh. This is the one you keep for 6 years, the Hebrew one, the special treatment slave, that one. If you give him a woman, the two sleep together, have children. The woman and the children, they are never free. The slave can leave after 6 years. But if he says, oh, no, I love my master. How can you love your master more than your children and wife or woman? And you would rather stay. I get it, he would stay because of the woman and the kids. But to stay because of your master who has held you in slavery for 6 years. What kind of love is that? How do you love someone that held you for 6 years? Oh, Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, okay. I get that. I don't think I've seen that. I haven't seen. Women and children, they don't go free. So now he can decide, Master, because of my wife and children, I don't want to go no more. I would stay because of you and my wife, my kids, which is understandable. What kind of person would leave wife and children, the woman you slept with for the last 6 years, had children with, right? Raised this children for 6 years or how many years? Now you just let him go, off you go. What kind of madness is this? And somehow somebody will come and tell me this is a holy book. This book is an unholy book. This book they call Bible. No. Anyway.
Dishonest and unwelcome to call back in and say you acknowledge that.
And you would think that he would stay away and not call. He did call. He called again, but never mind. We will go over and look at another video. So this is Lubis. Lubis has put together a compilation of Gman defending slavery. Get ready, guys. This guy, he has been on the internet for over about 10 years. And his arguments are still the same till this present. Nothing has changed. In fact, it's got worse. Now he's threatening death threats.
Okay. So anyway, guys, you saw the title of the video. Title of this video today is called Slavery is Not Immoral in of Itself. Slavery is not immoral in of itself. Let me say this again. You owning another human being, which is what Matt Dillahunty was crying about. You own another human being. You know what I mean? Since he was on that show where he cares so much about this topic of slavery. Okay? They keep saying how we're animals all.
Can someone please translate for me? What does it mean when you say slavery is not immoral in of itself? Please, somebody translate that. Someone break it down in layman's terms. Slavery is not immoral inside of itself. Someone please help me translate what that means. I beg you. Hey, Skeptic Haven. Hello. Good to see you here, Skeptic Haven. Can someone please translate? What does it mean? Slavery is not immoral in of itself. I'm sure it's me who doesn't understand that, because English is my second language, you see. So I try with the English language. I try. So in of itself.
Okay. So anyway, guys, you saw the title of the video. Title of this video today is called Slavery is Not Immoral in of Itself. Slavery is not immoral in of itself. Let me say this again.
In case you didn't hear it, he's going to repeat it the third time.
You owning another human being, which is what Matt Dillahunty was crying about. You own another human being. You know what I mean? Since he was on that show where he cares so much about this topic of slavery. Okay? They keep saying how we're animals all the time.
You owning another human being is not immoral. Let that sink in, guys. You owning
right now, remember, they're against slavery now, right? They keep saying that we're animals, right?
Yep,
well,
exactly.
We're animals. I mean, I own a cat. I've owned cats. The cat's my property. Okay, you own turtles. Those turtles are your property. You have dominion over those turtles. I have dominion over my cats, right?
How many of you have pets here? Please. And I need answers. How many of you have pets? Please, someone just tell me. Are your pets, are they your property or your pets? Are they pets? Are they property? Are they like a member of the family? The people I've seen that have Gman just said that his cat is his property and that he has dominion over his cat. Skeptic Haven, I agree. My client Steve McRae was on G. Oh, he was on there. I didn't watch that. I wasn't feeling too well yesterday. I'd gone to a party on the January 1st. Don't know what I ate, but my God, came back that night. Listen, I think my days of eating at parties would have to stop because you don't know who's cooked what. And this party I went to, everyone brought food, right? All the African women, it was an African collection of African people. So all the African women brought their food. You don't know who washed their hands and who didn't. I'm going to start to be really careful from now on because my goodness, I couldn't sleep, suffered at night. My goodness. No. So he was on that show last night. I couldn't watch it. I wasn't going to waste my time. The last show, I think he went on for about 7 hours or 8 hours. Steve McRae, no worries. I assumed you were joking about something I missed. Oh, what was it? What did I miss something? Okay, this guy shouldn't own pets. Unfortunately, he has owned pets. Recently, there's been a cat I've seen in his recent videos. I don't know if he owns the cat or not. But this person says that cats are his property. His cat is his property. And he has dominion over cat. I can't make this up, guys. Just can't. Let me take that back. Listen to this.
Okay. They keep saying how we're animals all the time, right? Now remember, they're against slavery now, right? They keep saying that we're animals, right? Yep, well, exactly. We're animals. I mean, I own a cat. I've owned cats. The cat's my property. Okay. You own turtles. Those turtles are your property. You have dominion over those turtles. I have dominion over my cats, right? Why can't I own a human being if we're animals? Animals can own animals according to them. So why is slavery bad? It doesn't matter how you look at it.
So this guy is anti evolution. He thinks that the theory of evolution is from the devil. He's so anti evolution. He has gone on so many shows trying to, debate evolution. One question he keeps asking people is, how can a dog come from a non-dog? So how do you get a dog from, let's say, a lion? Because this person thinks that that's how evolution works. That a lion would just a female lion would just birth a dog, right? Because that's how these people think that evolution works. I mean, even me, who hasn't got much knowledge on evolution, know that the process of evolution is not a one year thing, not 2 years, not it takes many millions of years for those species to change. But this person wants to know how a non-dog becomes a dog. And so what he's saying is, if you evolutionists believe that you are animals, right? So animals can own animals, right? So what's wrong in a human owning another human? You see the logic? That's the logic this guy is working with. Free Betsy. Phil, tomorrow, the show for tomorrow is How Jesus Ruined the World. So, would you be interested in that one? Would you be willing to join in How Jesus Ruined the World? Hey, Kat. Hello, Kat. So hard. Hello. To see a black man defend slavery. So heartbreaking. It is so heartbreaking. Okay, let's see. Let's continue.
In of itself, there's nothing wrong with a human being owning another human being. The problem that most of us got, if we're being honest and we're talking about this, is how people are being treated when they're being owned.
It's not the owning of the human being that's the problem. No, it is the treatment. It's not the owning. Okay, Phil, great. Don't worry, I'll keep you informed. Guys, it's not the owning of the person. It is the treatment. That's the only problem G-Man has. Just the treatment. You know what, guys? G-Man actually thinks that slaves were treated really well by their slave masters. That's what this person thinks. Honestly, I wish I had money, loads of it. I would take G-Man to the slave museums that still exist. Let him go and see how some slaves are still treated in this modern times, then let alone how they were treated back then. Mm, 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 mm. J Form, one of the encounters I would love to see happen is on Darth Dawkins. It nearly happened. It nearly did, but people were not. They were not prepared for it. They were like, nope. Darth Dawkins, he was here in chat. Was it 2 weeks ago? And he wanted to come and have it, and everyone's like, no, continue with what you're doing. Not one person, not even one, said yes, do it. Not one. Everybody said no, we don't want it. Uh, not one person. Not even one person did it. Well, it's good to have you here, J Form. Oh, let's see. So, guys, what does it mean when when this clown says, in of itself, slavery is okay? What does that mean? Is it the okay? I'm not going to try. I'm going to leave it.
Why I would say owning another person is wrong,
Right.
but owning a dog is not the same.
Oh yes,
is
it is.
because my dog right here is
A cute dog.
incapable. I mean, this dog is my property. She belongs to me.
Mm-hmm.
But she is incapable of being my slave because she's a dog. But when I own a human, the reason I would say it's wrong is not because they are my property. It's wrong because they're my slave. You know,
secure.
that's why it's wrong. They're my slave.
Jill, you
know, legal. I would say, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to give you a better answer. But in my opinion, I would say owning another person is wrong because they're your slave. I'm sorry, I can't elaborate more, but that's just my feeling. That's my feeling. But when we get to the good slavery, bad slavery, I do have a question.
Yeah, a little bit. You're entitled to your opinion a little bit. I ain't got an issue with that because I said this is gonna be more of a conversation. But the bottom line is, if you're gonna have an intelligent conversation with somebody, you got to give them a reason on why owning a human being. I mean, unless you're just gonna say it's your opinion. If you're just gonna say it's your opinion, there ain't nothing to talk about then. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. But if you want it to be factually true, like Matt Dillahunty likes to try to put it on everybody, you have to be able to give a sound, rational, logical reason on why it's wrong. And if you can't do that, then I mean, a lot of people aren't take you seriously on that because there's a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people who are not even Christians that agree with me on this.
Well, my reason for
okay, I need to know who those people are. Yes, J Form, is that you? Who are these people? He said there are lots of people that agree with him on this issue of slavery being okay. Someone just I can't. I just can't. Who are these people? Who are these people? Somebody tell me, who are these people that agree with him? Huh?
Why it's wrong is because it makes the person a slave, not an employee, not a.
J-Form. J-Form says, the Afro-atheist has a good heart. Taking G-Man to a museum, an educational experience is like exposing Superman to kryptonite. Steve McQueen manager will fill you in. This guy has been taken. Look, he's been held by the hand like this by a group of people, taken to I think it was a museum or where, I don't really know. Steve McQueen manager would tell you. They've pointed it out. They've like this. They've shown him everything he needs to know. He came away. They paid for his meals. They treated this guy like, look, yes, you're so anti-atheist, but we're here to teach you so you can learn. They thought that they could instill some just a little bit of knowledge in the guy. They tried. But guess what? He went back. Oh no, he was still with them. His phone went missing. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Then someone was kind enough, found his phone, gave it back to him. He went back and said the atheist stole his phone and that the atheists are going to jail, all of them. He's taking all of them to jail. The atheist stole his phone and that they stole it and cloned all the contents of his phone because they needed all the information on Gman that they took. I'm not even going to try and understand it. The saga of the lost phone. Yes, it was a whole saga. It was a whole listen, the atheists were threatened with jail over G-Man's phone. The same ones who practically held his hand to the museum like this, paid for his meals, treated him with just so it was a whole saga. Oh my God,
An apprentice.
What's wrong with
it makes them a slave. That would be my reason.
What's wrong with being a slave?
What's wrong with being
a slave? You're a slave. That's what's wrong with it.
What's wrong with being a slave?
That you're a slave.
Define what you mean by that. What's wrong with being?
I don't believe. This video looks like it was last year or the year before. I don't believe that there are grown adults who ask what is wrong with being a slave. Honestly, I don't get it. I don't. If this is Christianity, then keep it. If this is what Christianity would make you do, if this is what Christianity would make you think in your head, keep your Christianity. No thanks. Asking somebody what's wrong with being a slave. I don't even have to think. Your freedom is taken away. You have no choice. The scripture even says, look, if you beat that slave and you remove an eye, then you're to be treated this way, this way, this way. If you beat the slave and the slave dies, you would think that they would punish that person with the same kind of punishment that they punished the slave. No. The Bible is lenient on the slave master. Burn the Bible. Just burn it. It belongs in the trash. Electric cane. Hello. Electric cane. The what do you call that? What was that The not super chat. What's that thing called? The Cash App you sent to me. Apparently there was some conditions, and I didn't know. So when I went, it says it's gone back to you. So please have a look, and you think you can reverse. I don't know what happened. I just got an email saying, "Oh, it's been returned because there were some conditions." And okay, I didn't know what I was supposed to do. But please do check your emails. I don't know how those things work. Hey, J Form, thank you very much, J Form. Ian Davenport says, "I don't get it." Also, nobody's supposed to get it. Nobody. Yes, I get it. Some of you don't like me talking about Gman platforming, but guys, like I said, please send some love to Steve McRae, manager, who is sick with the COVID. This was impromptu. I decided to do something for him because he loves. This is his thing. This is his. This will wake him up. This will cure him of COVID. Talking about G-Man will get him up, right? Steve McRae, manager, tell us, have we managed to put a smile on your face at least? Have we managed to, even if we can't come and make you some hot soup or a hot cup of tea or coffee, at least we can put a smile on your face from the internet, right? So please let us know if this has worked or not. Gerwalk says listening to religious people or people in general defend slavery is very disturbing. Absolutely. And remember, atheists who are against slavery and oppression are the immoral ones with no values. No, Gerwalk, we're going to hell. We're the ones going to hell. These Gerwalk, listen to this. These are the people who are going to be in heaven. These ones that says it's okay to own slaves. They're going to be right next to Jesus. Jesus is going to welcome these, Lord. Welcome, thou good and faithful servant, into my paradise. These are enjoy. Those people who are going to the heaven, enjoy. He accused many. Not Nate Brody. No, I thought he accused Hannah Zuby, not Nate. Guys, Nate Brody, this guy is a lawyer. Right now, I think his subscriber count is over 250,000 subscribers, right? He was one of the people who took G-Man, like this, paid for his meals and everything. G-Man's crap phone, if you see the phone, went missing. Turns out that G-Man dropped the phone. He was careless. This guy, they said he was like a child. This guy, they were all surprised. He'll be on the internet just being, all this they were expecting to see someone who, had it all together. When they finally met up with him, they were shocked. He was like a child, walked like a child, talked like a child. Even on the streets, they said the guy was hopping on just into cars. It was like trying to lead a child away from the road. The guy will come and say, "Oh, he'll say to the people, let's have a arm wrestle. Let's arm wrestle. Let's, like how children would play." Okay, since I'll check it. It hasn't come back yet. Okay, you should check twice. It's come to me saying that it's been returned to you. Okay, I'm missing a lot of. Yes, Ian Davenport. Unfortunately, Steve's got the COVID. So this is dedicated to Steve McRae. And can you imagine Steve McRae saying he wants to be sick every week, sick all the time? Better get your ass up that bed. If you think you're going to be getting a stream all the time.
Me asleep. Define it. Okay, tell me how Matt Delahanty was right. Tell me how I was wrong.
Can you imagine?
When Matt was talking about how beating the crap out of your slaves, and you're saying like it's okay, and he's saying like no, it's wrong, because it is wrong. I mean, having slaves in general, like you say, slaves in and of itself is okay. No, it's not. Having slaves is wrong. Period. I mean, come on, G-Man. That entire video. Okay, keep going.
Lucas, explain to me what's right about this, Lucas, and who's encouraging this, Lucas? Because it ain't Christians. Who's encouraging this, Lucas?
Look at the bottom of that screenshot. You see me. You see me, and I say, oh, no. Oh, no. To that G-slave syllabus, I put, no. Does that
great,
sound?
That's great, Lucas.
I'm
who's encouraging this, Lucas?
What was that?
Who's encouraging this? This is how I know you don't listen. Who's encouraging this?
I don't know. That's one person.
This is showing up in every video that I talk about the slave issue. Not the slave issue, the race issue.
One person is doing that.
Oh, no. There's quite a few people doing it. They're even doing it right now. They're not saying the N-word, but they're being racist and live.
It's one name, G-Man. It's a G.
How am I going to have an adult conversation with you and you won't be quiet, sir? Do you know how to have an adult conversation? Or should I sick pillbox?
I'm sorry.
Okay? Because I'll unleash him and let him deal with you if you want.
I said I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay? So let's talk about this now. Why do you defend Scientist Sam?
Talking
about whether a human being owns another human being in of itself.
Okay, so it strikes me as really odd that you feel you must support biblical slavery as not being immoral. It's just really the hill you want to die on.
No. That's not what this is about. My argument is that it is not wrong for a human being to own another human being in of itself. The argument that the atheist community is making, that if a human being owns another human being, that it is wrong across the board. And there's so many ways to debunk that. It's not even funny. For starters, they can't even give me a moral basis, but it's not even fun doing that. I find it to be more fun to hit them up with their own argument. If you're going to say that it is wrong for a human being to own another human being in of itself, then you got to tell me why. Why is it wrong for the act? What is wrong about the very act of owning another human being? What's so bad about it?
Big Zebra. Big Zebra. How do you engage in this kind of conversation with this person? How are the atheists more moral than this Christian? How? Atheists are saying, whatever form slavery takes, however you interpret slavery, whatever you call it, slavery, indentured servitude, whatever it is wrong. But this Christian is saying, no. Tell me why it is wrong. Give me reasons why it is wrong. Do you know, guys, this guy, Matt Delahanty asked this guy, okay, since you say it's okay for your God to own, for your God, you say it's okay with you if your God says it's okay to own slaves. Would you be my slave? Guess what Gman's answer was? He said, yes, I would be your slave. But there was a caveat. Gman said to Matt, he said, as long as you, what was it? He said, as long as you treat me right, treat me well or something. I think as long as you don't make me break God's laws, something along those lines. Steve McRae manager, please correct me. What did he say to Matt? He said, yes, I'll be your slave, but there was a caveat. I think it was it's okay. You can own me, but as long as you treat me well and don't make me, I don't remember that anymore. This guy is willing to be somebody's slave because his God says slavery is okay. Take him as a slave. Just take him as a slave. Doing slavery, Gman think he would be overseer with a whip, keeping the Negroes under control. He would not be. He was like a child, but misogynistic, spiteful, and rude. I don't know if there was any. Are there any videos of that when G-Man met up with the atheists in? I don't know where they met. Are there any videos of when G-Man and atheists when they met? I don't know if there's any, but never mind. Let's continue. Not a lot now.
Okay. So what is your answer for why a human being should never own another human being?
Because it violates their basic human rights.
It
tries to turn human beings into animals.
So it violates their human rights, right? I want to make sure I write that down.
Yeah.
He wants to write
violate their human rights, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe that morality is objective, or do you believe that morality is subjective?
To be honest with you, I often find myself hoping that it is objective, that you and I could find some way to prove what is moral and what is not, but I suspect it's largely subjective.
Okay, so morality
is not a straight answer. I apologize.
So it would be based on the other person's. It would be based on the other person's point of view or what their opinion is. Right?
Based on their.
One thing you must understand about G-Man is that when you have a conversation with him, he can never stay focused. He can never stay on topic. When you ask him a question, or he asks you, on the next breath, he will ask you something totally out of sync. Just, is that what you call an ad hominem? It just makes, he just pulls them out of nowhere. Then he will accuse the other person of gish galloping. When he has the habit of just changing, he'll change subject just like that. I don't know how people can have a conversation with this man. But you know what, guys? I'm planning to have a conversation with him at some point. Yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You know, he keeps he's challenged me to a debate, but I don't do debates. So, but a conversation, honestly, I would love to just figure the guy out. What's okay. Redirecting. You call that redirecting, yeah?
Their point of view.
Right. If you believe that morality is subjective, your point of view is that owning another human being in of itself is wrong. In Israel, okay, more than 2,000 years ago, they didn't believe that. And that's according to their subjective morality. If you believe in subjective morality, who's right and who's wrong? And you believe that it is immoral for a human to own another human.
Yes.
Okay? There is absolutely nothing immoral about
in this, that we have all fallen short of the glory of God.
It says there's nothing immoral about
to me how such deeply flawed people should be allowed to own other people. If they
I don't have a problem with another human being owning another human being. I have a problem with how people are treated while they are owned by these people.
Can you imagine
because
that?
I can show you slavery happening in the Bible that even you would enjoy. Let me ask you this,
what?
bro. How you doing, Lobus?
Hey, what's up, man?
Apparently, there's a kind of slavery in the Bible that people would enjoy. What kind of slavery is that? It's heartbreaking. heartbreaking. So it was okay. It's not an ad hominem. Okay, that's an attack on someone that also makes their argument mute. You're an idiot is an insult. You're an idiot and can't make an argument. Would be an ad hominem. All right. Okay. I'm still learning these debate skills. Different moral systems occur in different sects of the same religion, but they are all according to the Bible. Christianity is a mess. They can't agree on any doctrine. They can't agree on their moral systems. Can't agree on anything. And that's why I consider Christianity a joke. Huge joke.
Man, hey Gman, I had a question. When you say it's not wrong for a human to own another human in of itself, what do you mean by in of itself?
Yes,
I don't understand that part.
Good question.
Alone, as is. You own me right now, Lubis. End of story. The end.
What does that mean?
You own me as property. The end. There's nothing immoral about that. The atheist community has been arguing with me for years. Matt Dillahunty argues this on the Atheist Experience.
It's hopeless.
The atheists, Jungle Jargon and me have known each other for a while on here now. I think Jesus is Lord and me just started talking like a couple of years ago or whatever. But the atheist for the longest time says that the very act of a human owning another human being as property is immoral. If it is immoral, then the burden of proof is on the atheist to be able to show us why that is immoral in of itself. If you cannot do it, then it logically follows that they have to stop saying that. Hence.
Well, I'm wondering if, because the part about owning another person isn't wrong in of itself. I've never heard anybody say that part.
Been doing that for years.
And so I'm thinking like, I'm wondering if it's because you're trying to like justify it. I mean, because for me, if someone's a slave, that's always bad.
Lubis, it is a direct. You see, here's the thing, Lubis. You want your cake and you want to eat it. You want to be able to say that human beings should never own another human being in of itself. But then you also want to sit there and say, in a perfect world, we should never own animals.
Answer your question.
In your own house, you have a dog in your house right now.
Yes.
He's a psychopath.
Get out of here, man. You're full of it.
I don't.
So anyway, guys, I don't know what you're trying to.
When you look at people, you don't want to make a diagnosis of people. You don't want to. Well,
okay,
some
Lucas,
people
are you aware that I made an argument on the Atheist Experience that said that there's nothing wrong with a human being owning another human being in itself?
Yeah, it's obvious.
Okay, it's a stupid argument. Do you understand that that's a response to the argument that atheists say that it is wrong for a human being to own another human being, period?
It is. It's always wrong for a human to own another human being.
Now I got two witnesses here.
Not if you're going to claim that they're animals, dude.
Oh, heavy, isn't it? Heavy. Just give me 1 second. Where is it now? Okay, these are just little clips of Gman being Gman.
Oh, you crazy people! How the hell are you? First of all, Gman, I have no hate in my mind for you whatsoever. I don't hate you as a human being, but somebody has to point out that you're being illogical. You're not using logic and reason. And here's the first clip.
I forgive everyone for what they did in the transatlantic slave trade.
And first of all of those people have long since been dead. For a very long time, forgiving dead people is silly. It makes no sense. Here's your second clip.
I believe that God caused a lot of good to come out of it.
So stop complaining about the slave trade and start thanking the people that did it, because you're better off now. You make no sense. You say you forgive them. Hell, you should be thanking them. Your logic and reason is out the window. Third clip.
The guy says that a lot of good came out of slavery. Guys, Oh, a lot of good came out of slavery. Hey, Robin says, I wish I knew slavery that someone would enjoy. He says there's slavery that people would enjoy in the Bible. It's in there. Gosh. Besides, he would have to answer Genesis, where his God gave us dominion over nature. Maybe that's why he says that we have dominion over animals. I guess that's where he's coming from. Oh, I guess that's where he's coming from. Afro-atheist is causing undue harm to a fellow human being and taking away their freedoms and using them for their own gain without rewarding them fairly for their services. Phil, can you imagine that once upon a time, if you owed me money, I could hang on to you for 6 years and make you do my bidding. I could beat you as long as you don't die, as long as you don't lose an eye, as long as you don't break bones. But I can beat you, I can treat you however I want. Thankfully, that has been outlawed. Now, we have a better moral system than the Bible God. You would think that Jesus, in his infinite mercy, when Jesus came, that Jesus would have said, you know what? Yes, I've had a look at the books. You all have written these books. Now, let's take this away and you would think that Jesus would have made it clear. He said, love your God. Number 2, love your neighbor. How about number 3? You must not own a fellow human as a slave. How about that? The Apostle Paul, he came and said, oh, he is a slave to God. He chooses slavery to his own God. It's just crazy. Absolutely crazy.
More to this subject than you guys are saying, well, your God condoned slavery in the Bible. Your ancestors did. Your ancestors probably enslaved some people.
Do you know how many white people that fought and died to end slavery? Why you're complaining about, well, white people enslaved us. Yeah, it happened a long time ago, but a lot of white people went to the grave so you can have freedom of speech. And in my opinion, to be a complete idiot.
Okay, let's listen to this one. Share this tab instead. Okay, let's see here. Why is this not playing?
Slave trade, we would have to get specific about what laws you're talking about and which laws goes directly against what the Bible says.
I'm talking about the owning people, having to use a different bathroom.
There's nothing wrong with owning people. See, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with owning people. It's what you do with the people that becomes the issue.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with owning another person?
Nope.
So tell me something. When Indigo went on Von Helton's channel and was talking about the slave owners and who owned the most slaves and who was responsible for the slave trade and whatnot, I guess she was telling the truth about that. When she came on my channel talking about how she hates black people and she wants them dead or whatever, that's why she moved where she is, I guess that was okay too then, I guess, right? I mean, you guys are on that side. I don't see one video on YouTube by the atheist community where they are condemning those words. Not one. Now, that's right. You're laughing at me. Great. I'm glad you are. You don't care about racism in America. That's why you're laughing at me.
I condemn those comments. I condemn anyone who turns their back on their own race. But I do believe in stereotypes. Check this out. a white cat. Nothing black in this house.
Hello, everyone. I want to ask the Black Hebrew Israelites a quick.
Okay. All right, guys. This guy, over the years, he has defended slavery time and time again. And every time he gets on his channel, he talks about how he has trashed all the atheists. He trashed Matt Dillahunty. He trashed everybody has been trashed by this guy. He never loses. This guy never loses. So if you are, yes, Soren, that is Lubis. So let me show you. This is going to be my last video, but let me show you just a typical example of what this guy would do after a conversation with Matt or anyone on slavery. This is what he does. When he's had a conversation, if that conversation is not gone the way he wants it to, he automatically just leaves that conversation, goes over to his channel, turns his camera on, just starts to record and starts to talk trash, right? That's what he does most of the time. So a lot of the Gman rants that have been, and he deletes them afterwards because he just starts talking a lot of trash. And recently he has resorted to threatening people with death and violence because the conversation hasn't gone his way, because things haven't gone how he wants. It's after 10 years. Look where he's at. So recently, this last few days, he started this thing called, it's like a debate where different people come and chat. It's all just him and a bunch of Christians just agreeing with each other, and everyone else is wrong. They don't see anything wrong in their beliefs at all. They're right and everyone is wrong. It's just crazy.
Hey, religions, people think religion offers them hope and answers and moral guidance and all these things. What does atheism offer? What is it about atheism that is so compelling that I should give up my religious beliefs and go down this pathway of labeling myself an atheist?
Before we go a step further, I want to let everyone know this video is not an attempt to get Matt Dillahunty to debate me. I want to let everyone know officially that I am no longer going to be pursuing a debate with Matt Dillahunty. If
guys, this guy that has no home to call his own, this guy that has nothing. Well, he has a home now which he bought for $1. He can't even live in. Do you know one time this guy was pursuing Matt Dillahunty all over the place for a call, because Matt Dillahunty says, I'm done. I can't continue with it, with having a conversation with someone as crazy as you, who thinks that it's okay to own humans as property. Why? They had exhausted all avenues. Matt had tried and tried, but this guy was not prepared. He was still convinced that he still had more arguments up his sleeve, and that he can get Matt. By the time he's done, he will trash Matt, and he will get Matt to submit and to admit that he was wrong. He even offered money. This guy, money that he didn't have, he was prepared. I think he was, okay, Steve McRae manager, please help me. How much was the money he was offering? Was it $2,000, I think? If I own Gman, I would be with his ass daily. Listen, I'll make him work. I'll make him, he will work. He will work his ass off. But I can't even think. I eat not something, my mind can't process it, that I own another human being. Never mind the joke, okay, we're just messing about. But owning somebody, where do you begin? Owning people. Where do you begin? Sorry, I just had a message. Okay. Guys, let's listen to this clown talk his talk.
Matt Dillahunty chooses to lift the restriction for me calling the atheist experience, I will no longer call the
So they had put a restriction on the atheist experience so that he doesn't call the atheist experience anymore. He thought he could get over that ban. He called in again. This guy became a pest. This was harassment of Matt Dillahunty. Every single stream had Matt Dillahunty's face, had Matt Dillahunty's just Matt Dillahunty's name in the title. He was a constant. This guy became a huge clown. And Matt Dillahunty just ignored him. So, but look at him now saying, okay, I think at this point he had given up. It was 2K, yes? Yes, he was offering Matt 2K to have a conversation. I remember him from a while ago trying to debate Matt. He even called the atheist. No, it wasn't an assumed name. It was his other name. He called and gave out his real name. He said he was Lamont because he's Gary Lamont Moore. He called the atheist experience and says, asked him, who is this speaking and where are you calling from? It is Lamont Moore. This guy.
atheist experience. If Jenna Peoples, that guy Russell on the atheist experience, or Matt Dillahunty wants to debate me or contact me, you will be ignored and blocked from my YouTube channel if you start bothering me. You have made it clear that you don't want to debate me. You have made it clear that I'm not worth your time and everything. So what I'm going to do for my audience is show everybody what would have happened to you if you ever did decide to have a debate with me. And you want to know what, Matt? There's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. It's time for preaching to the choir ministries.
The fool has said, it is hard, there is no God, they are corrupt.
Hey, people think religion offers them hope and answers and moral guidance and all these things. What does atheism offer? What is it about atheism that is so compelling that I should give up my religious beliefs and go down this pathway of labeling myself an atheist? Now, I agree that the knee-jerk typical answer is atheism doesn't offer you anything. Atheism is a position on a single issue. It's either a simple rejection of the claim that some God exists, or perhaps in the case of hard atheism, it is the acceptance of the claim that no gods exist.
From my experience from talking to you atheists is this: whenever an atheist tells me or gives me that answer that atheism doesn't offer you anything, there's a few things that run through my mind. Number one, why would I give up $1 million for no dollars? If you're not offering me anything, then you're essentially offering me diddly squat, and you want me to give away all of the things that I have for nothing. That would be illogical and that would be stupid on anyone's part, okay? Especially if you're trying to make a fair trade-off or whatever, right? Number two, what a lot of you don't understand is this. The atheist is trying to offer you something. The atheist is trying to offer you freedom. Freedom from religion.
Where does this
the bondage of religion. The tyranny of religion. And the way they try, and by the way, you never asked to be free from anything. Because from your perspective, you were worshiping a God, and I'm referring to Christians here, you were worshiping a God, or are worshiping a God that is loving, caring, merciful, and has all these other attributes with him. Okay? The atheist will then bring their straw man arguments into your life and start questioning you on things that they don't fully understand themselves. And if you are ill prepared for dealing with that atheist, you might actually start believing what they're saying when you shouldn't. And it is a fatal mistake to do. So, Matt, atheists are offering Christians something, and you know that full well, which is why you host the atheist experience every week. But getting a little bit ahead of myself, let's listen to a little bit more what you have to say.
But a position on a single issue doesn't tell you anything about any other issue necessarily. So atheism doesn't offer you anything. It's not meant to. It's not a worldview. It's not a platform or a model by which you should structure decisions in your life.
That's very intellectually dishonest of you to say. Everybody has a worldview, Matt. Everybody, including you. Let's do a quick reading of a definition here, shall we? A worldview, a particular philosophy of life or conception of the world. Nearly all atheists in the world, and I mean 99.99999% of them, when you become an atheist, you become a secularist, where you don't want religion taught in the public sphere.
I have hardly ever seen an atheist on the internet that argues that religion should be in politics, that religion should be in our schools, or anything like that. It is very, 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 very rare to find somebody like that. I'm not saying that I found them. I'm just saying that it's rare. And I'm just giving you the benefit of the doubt. The point is, the majority of the atheists out there are secularists. And these atheists share a secular worldview. A worldview that does not include God in church or state. I don't know, Nat. Can you give me at least one atheist that doesn't mind or actually advocates and votes for the fact that God should be involved in our lawmaking? Can you name one atheist that believes that because of your belief in God, that a law should be made that says that two gay people can't get married? Can you name one? No, you can't. You want to know why? Because your worldview doesn't include God. So you do have a worldview. It's just called secularism. Try again.
What's he talking about?
That's kind of the typical expected answer.
Guys, did you guys understand any of that? Did you understand it? Did you understand any of that? Okay, I'll let you guys carry on listening because I did not understand any of that at all.
It's also worth noting that this question is perhaps just another form of Pascal's wager, which we've already covered in detail. And yet this one feels different to people. It comes up all the time. So I wanted to take today, by the way, we could stop the video right here. Done. Atheism doesn't offer you anything. You're just using a weird version of Pascal's wager. Talk to the hand, move on.
As a Christian, I disagree with everything that you just got finished saying. As far as Pascal wagers go, I went and knock it if I were you. Pascal wager says that what if you're wrong and what if I'm right? When somebody's asking you what does atheism have to offer, it has nothing to do whatsoever with that other question. Do you understand it? Like if you would actually take the time out to think about these things, you would know that. Then you speak as if Pascal's wager is a bad thing or whatever, considering it's brought people out of atheism to the light of the truth, which is only found through Jesus Christ. But you can continue on with your cocky little teaching.
So what does atheism offer? I mean, I don't believe in a lot of different things. What does not believing in those things offer me? It's not like a...
Guys, atheism is an answer to one question alone. That's it. Whatever you do after that question, that's no longer atheism. That's just you. That's just how an atheist sees the world. You cannot generalize all atheists and say, oh, atheists have a religion. Where is this religion of atheism? Where's the book? Huh? Hey, guys, we've got someone special on the stream. Hey, someone special is here. How about that? Everyone, give it up for... Hang on, let me see if I've got my my shit together. 1 second, guys. Are you there or not? Are you there? Okay, hang on. Before you say anything, wait, let me... There we go. Hey. No, that's not the one I want. Yes, that's the one I want. All right, guys. Hey, give it up for... Now, let's have you here. Are you there?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Guess who it is, guys? The sick man is on the stream.
Yes, this is Steve McCray, manager. And
we got you out of bed.
No, I'm still in bed, and I'm partially naked, but yeah, I'm still in there. Yeah.
Did you have to mention that? Did you have to mention that?
But I wanted to say thank you for everybody that gave me some well wishes, and I really appreciate it. I'm actually doing pretty good. I'm completely vaccinated and boosted. Nice. And unfortunately, I was forced to attend a meeting that I protested against very hard. It was a company meeting, and I was not able to get out of it. It really kind of came down to that I was going to walk away from my job and it was for 3 days, but they reduced it to 1 day. But just knowing the situation, and a lot of my coworkers are not vaccinated, they don't believe in vaccines, and it was a hard decision. But I did go to the meeting and found out, they did not do any testing or mask or anything like that. And somebody, a couple or a table away, tested positive the next day. But long story short, I probably picked it up there because I'm extremely cautious and careful. But I am doing very well, and I think I'm going to be fine. So, but I do appreciate people kind of coming out and give me some well wishes. And I mean, honestly, Esther, just to get you to do a stream dedicated to me means so much. I know Ian Davenport would love that honor, but he's from a fake country. Do you know this guy actually says he's from Australia? Australia doesn't exist. I mean, come on. So I just want to.
Australia exists. Stop
It does not exist.
It does.
It does not exist. It does not exist. Australia doesn't exist. That's where people from New Zealand tell people, oh, go to the next island. It's nicer. And then they get lost and never come back. Australia doesn't exist.
It does.
But so I don't want to tell
And
everybody.
because you said so, Steve McRae manager, I tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to go and visit Ian Davenport in Australia. We're going to do some really nice videos, and then we'll do live streams together and show everyone, so you can see that it is indeed a country. Stop it.
Well, I'll tell you this much. You sent me a very nice message earlier, and you can do all the videos you want. As long as you don't do a video like you did for me, because, it cured me. I was healed. Yeah. So, and America's a lot closer to the UK than Australia.
Okay, guys, you didn't hear any of that. All right.
Yeah, they did. Okay, but thank you, everyone.
You guys didn't hear any of that.
I really appreciate it, and I'll be back in the chat. The king. The king of the
number
chat.
one.
I'm the number one supporter. I mean, I know others try, to take my place, but I've always been first. I always been first. Always. I don't come first, but I'm always first.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Why did I decide to do this stream? Never mind. Someone said that he's got a sexy voice. Now you're going to make him, his head's going to be that big now because Soren thinks he's got a sexy voice. Don't, no, just, Get says, sounds like a private conversation. Sounds like a private conversation. Get come on. At this point, everybody mind your business. See? Mind your business. Private, whatever. Listen, I'm grown. I'm a grown adult. I can have whatever conversation I want, whether private, whether, yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? Okay, let's finish this video. Gosh. Whew. Okay, here we go.
Positive position where I'm convinced that this is the truth, and therefore there are a lot of things that stem from that. And if it is the case of not being convinced of something. So what could that possibly offer? The first thing that it offers is kind of obvious. If you're not convinced of any particular religious foundation, well, you don't have to go to church. But that seems kind of glib. Hey, your Sunday mornings are now free, or if you had abandoned Judaism, your Saturdays are now free, etc.
I think it's unbelievable that Matt Dillahunty is trying to sit there and act like the atheist position is the default position. This man has such a positive position that there is no God. He demonstrates it every single week on a show called The Atheist Experience, where he literally sits there and invites Christians to call into the show so that he can convince them that our God is a fairy tale and that he doesn't exist and that we ought to give up our faith. I find it odd that Matt Dillahunty would make jokes about people not going to church anymore, because that usually is one of the first things that
happens. But Gman doesn't go to church.
Never mind the fact that they're going to take on a bunch of their worldviews. They're going to start supporting.
But Gman doesn't go to church.
They're going to start supporting gays having sex instead of speaking up against it, and a whole bunch of other immoral things.
The guy doesn't go nowhere.
But they want to free you from religion, and you're looking at the symbol of one of their businesses right now. But I find it very intellectually dishonest of Matt Dillahunty to sit there and act like he doesn't know what he's doing when he's pushing his aggressive atheism on everyone via the Atheist Experience debates and his a platform where he literally teaches atheists how to debate against Christians and lose. Again, his intellectual dishonesty is absolutely positively disgusting.
But the truth is, what it offers you, by not being bound to religious dogma, religious traditions, that means you're not spending your time and effort on those things. You're not praying, and that leaves you open to perhaps think about what are better solutions to a problem than prayer. You're not donating your money to churches and religious organizations. And if you are, you've made a conscious decision that those organizations are doing something that is good and in the public interest. And you're not merely doing it because you are convinced that God wants you to donate 10 or 20% of your earnings to a particular religious organization.
I'm a firm believer in allowing a person to refute themselves. So I'm going to allow Matt Dillahunty to refute himself. But before I do that, let me explain to you the context in which I'm going to do it. This man earlier said, as well as many other uneducated atheists on the internet would say, atheism doesn't offer you anything. Yet, since we've gotten to the second part of his argumentation, he's been talking about how you don't got to go to church no more. You don't got to give money for offerings no more. You don't got to pray no more, because now you can do more productive things with your time to solve your problems. Find better ways.
Listen, Matt is right. When you don't go to church anymore, you don't need to give money to anyone. You keep your money for yourself. You spend time with your family. When I used to go to church, we used to spend hours and hours in church. By the time we come back, we're so tired. Ask any Christian, guys, do me a favor. One of these days, you see a Christian come back from church, ask them, what did the preacher teach? What was preached on the pulpit? Just ask them and see if they're able to tell you what was preached, because they've spent all that time in there. A lot of moving parts in church. There's music, there's this, there's that. The minister comes on, preaches for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever, and then everything he said is gone, completely gone. Going to church is a waste of time. Well, okay. Let me take that back. All right, community. Because they will say, oh, for community's sake. All right, I guess for community. Yeah. You get to meet people you can have a chat with. You get to wear your Sunday best to church. You get to have a gossip and a laugh. Some even go as far as to go eat. Some people eating. Well, that's one thing I do miss, actually. Many Sundays after church, there's always food. Always food. Mm-mm.
To be able to solve things instead of praying to God. I mean, I know I'm not the only person that heard that. So atheism is offering you something: freedom from religion, freedom from the tyranny of religion, and freedom from the bondage of religion. But let's try to remember what Mr. Dillahunty said in the beginning of this video.
Atheism doesn't offer you anything.
Now, normally what I would do is I would finish out the video. But honestly, guys, he doesn't have a whole lot more to say. It's the same stupid stuff we always hear on the internet regarding what atheists claim they're not doing and what it is that will do if we deconvert from our faith. So again, I just wanted to point out in this video the intellectual dishonesty of Matt Dillahunty when he and other atheists like to say that atheism doesn't offer you anything. That is not a worldview. This is a bunch of nonsense. The day you leave Christianity, the day you walk away from Christ, you're going to be walking and talking and quacking just like an atheist. You're going to want to free people from the bondage and the tyranny of religion. You're going to want to support homosexual marriage. You're going to want to keep religion out of the schools. You're going to want to prevent people from prevent laws from being passed according to a particular person's belief or whatever.
When you walk away from Christianity, you're going to want to allow people to be with whoever they want to be, have whatever sex they want to have, consensual sex anyway. I don't see what the problem is with that. Keeping religion out of schools, I don't see what the problem is. As far as I'm concerned, the Bible is just a book of fairy tales. It's just a book of stories that you all teach as fact. I don't know how you get off on teaching things in the Bible as though these things really happen. The Adam and Eve story, written by somebody who wasn't even there to, he wasn't there to witness the events, but somehow wrote what happened in the Adam and Eve story. How is this even, how are we accepting this? If Moses wrote Adam and Eve story, right? In the beginning God created, but he wasn't even there. But yet you want to teach that to children in schools. Not on my watch. If I can do everything, thankfully, the Humanist UK, they're actively campaigning to have because the government they sponsor the religious schools, the Church of England schools. It's funded by the government. Yeah. So there is an active campaign now. If you're going to fund atheists, if you're going to fund the Church of England schools, then you must fund all the other religions, right? Their schools, if they do have one. And think about it, if the UK government has to sponsor all faith schools, not just its own faith, Church of England, if they have to sponsor all of them, of course, they would be the ones crying. But you can't choose one, over and above the others. How do you get up on just, okay, we'll only fund the Church of England schools? What about the Catholic schools? What about, okay, I think they do fund the Catholic schools. I think they do that. Yeah, I think they do. But the Islamic schools, the Buddhist schools, the Sikh schools, you must fund all of them too. Trust me, when you put that pressure on them, they will withdraw the funding that they're giving the schools. How does the government fund schools because of a religious school? There's even campaigns right now. Do you guys know that in the UK, in the House of Lords, the people who make decisions of the country, bishops from the Church of England get automatic seats because they are bishops in the in the Church of England. Once upon a time, when the Church of England was still the dominant religion, right? They had this agreement. The people who sat on the House of Lords, at least 23 of them, have to come from the Church of England, right? And that has been a thing for a very long time. But guess what? After the last census here in the UK, that was done in 2020 or 2021, it turns out that the UK is becoming less and less religious by the minute, by the hour, by the day. The UK cannot call itself a Christian nation because it is not. If it was a Christian nation once upon a time, it no longer is a Christian nation. That's been taken off them. There are more, in the UK, there are more people who identify as having no religion than those who do. So the tides have turned. Things are changing for the better. And so those bishops that they have in the House of Lords, they better think about getting them away from there. They better think of changing that law. Thankfully, there are people campaigning. And that's why I support, if you're an atheist, join a group. join your local atheist group, join your local humanist group, right? Not for if for anything, for joining in on the campaign, lending a voice to bring sanity, secularism over any of these religious clowns and religious beliefs. Have a world where everyone is treated fairly. Not that, oh, because you're Church of England or because you're a Christian, right? In the US, I know that's a whole subject altogether. The abortion laws. Now the government want to dictate for women what they do with their bodies. Where are the people's choices? Not everyone subscribes to your religion, for goodness sake. Sorry, guys. I know I went off on a rant there. Well, guys, that's us done for today. But before I finish, I've got something special for you. Let's see here. Did you guys know that Gman is a rapper? Gman has his own atheist rap. Atheist rap. The guy, he's a gift that keeps on giving. Okay, let's see. Atheist owned. He owns you, atheist. Atheist owned. Enjoy.
I am a dragoon, a donating dragoon.
Hatred is the reason song is burning in the fire. We're converting these atheism preachers to the choir. The immature souls who pretend there's no God. They were raised by parents who spares the rod. The scientific case that they preach on their shows. The liars forsake and they love to troll. The trilogy will end the way it began by a rhyming tornado. His name is Gman. Armin is a coward, the man can't debate. He's got a pagan name and he's filled with hate. He has great faith, he defended from a rat. You should dress in black, fight crime like a bat. A bat like son with nothing but the fact. Your entire community is doomed to collapse. You ain't in the finish, so bring down your tone and rock to this chorus while your butt is getting owned. Hey, attention, scholars gonna make a prediction. You gotta run from Bethel because you can't defend your vision. If you got the audacity, come to Jersey City, or I take your pride and full showing you pity. Don't be afraid, stop running from a fight. It's only sack or two, just don't take it at night. Why you had it, Billy, do a push-up or two. Pigs in the wild shouldn't be healthier than you, so stop the charade. We know you're afraid, you'll never be TJ. Put on this band-aid. We own the engineer and DP as well. Turn from your sins or you're going to hell. A tone track proves that God is not real. You violent dragoons, tell me how torment feels. You underworld donkey get neutered in space. Then read your Bible
and do what it says. Atheist own. Hey. Woo.
Atheist community, you just got owned.
Whew. Atheist community, you just got owned. You got owned. Right, guys? I will see you all tomorrow. Phil, get yourself ready, guys. The stream tomorrow, how Jesus ruined the world. Another announcement. I'll put the link out. The black non-believers, right? I will be on there on Saturday. I will be on the Black Non-Believers show, The Cut. It's called The Cut on Saturday. That's one what you call it, stream that I've looked forward to. I've watched many a stream on the other side. I've been someone in the chat, is commenting and liking and all of that. But now I get to be on front row. So I'll put the link out. Yes. Right, everyone. What time? You know what? Let me see if I can find the link to it. Just give me 1 second. Able to find it. There we go. Found it. How do I share this now? Share, copy. Okay. That's it right there. So let's see. So GMT time, I think GMT 6 p.m. But 1 p.m. EST. I hope you guys understand that. You Americans understand 1 p.m. EST. I just know it's 6 p.m. GMT my time. So that's the link. Make sure you click on that link, subscribe, do everything you need to do. And yes, I look forward to that. But tomorrow, feel how Jesus ruined the world. Okay? All right, guys. Esther. That stupid song is in my head. He said, Sarah said, Esther, it's in your head now. You won't be able to sleep. In my head, you'll be No, Soren. No, it's not staying. No. Did you hear that? Please no. Anyway, guys, you all take care. Steve McRae, manager, I hope you feel better. And I hope we've helped. So I'm sure, he did confirm that we helped. All right, guys, you all take care, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Do you have a moment? And this very second, I know you feel the beat. Do you feel the rhythm all the way? Can you see the vision? Everything in this world will be okay. Can we be together all the way? I know you feel this movement right here. You just be vibing, reaching for something within you. I know you feel this movement right here. You just be vibing, reaching for something within you. Nights in California, fly passing homes, yeah, right by sunset colored skies. Chilling by the ocean, driving up the mountain, soaked in the endless beauty all of you. You know it feels alright, alright. Yeah. Can you see the vision? Everything in this world will be okay. Can we be together all the way? I know you feel this movement right here. You just be vibing, reaching for something.